Hi, it's Rex Bolt. I want to just give a brief explanation of how I came up with the premise for my series, the Chris Seeley Vigilante Justice books. It's basically two things. When I was a kid, a little kid in the 60s, there was a TV show, fairly popular. It was probably a little over my head, but it was called Run for Your Life. And it starred Ben Gazzara. And the premise was a good one. You had a guy with a terminal situation. I believe he had leukemia, which apparently in those days was nearly always fatal. And every episode he would go for something. He would have some adventure, kind of just go for something a little more challenging than he would have done in life if he didn't have this urgency, hovering over him. And so he had a good life. You sort of admired the way he approached it. Um, and they called it grabbing the gusto. I think that might have been part of the advertising lingo. You grab all the gusto you can in the time you have left, that type of thing. And the second aspect of my thinking was a function I was at several years ago where a guy was he was joking around. It was fictitious, but he was talking about a neighbor from hell that he has to deal with every day. A neighbor that whenever his family would have a function, have people over, the neighbor would call the police. That type of neighbor just didn't want other people to have fun. And the guy apparently at one point had some boulders brought in and strategically placed in the road where this guy then would have to maneuver. You have to back up all the way to the main road. Just things like that he probably thought about the guy on some level every day. And he said, if this was a fictitious world in a movie, and I had a terminal disease, I might kill that guy. And and then I sort of started to put those two things together. I started thinking what people might be capable of, what a regular guy might be capable of when all of a sudden hit with a terrible death sentence out of the blue. And who knows what he might then go on to do or to think or whatever. So that was just kind of the germination of my idea for the series. And I always enjoy hearing from readers and writers too. If you're a writer, especially an aspiring writer, and have any questions about Amazon, the ebook process, any of that stuff, shoot me an email. Happy to always converse with you. Okay, thanks.